The goal of this course is to learn about what public health is and how it works. In contrast to clinical medicine, public health focuses on populations and strategies that can be used to promote health and prevent disease. The course will highlight the theory in public health and teach strategies that can be used to improve the health of public. What is public health and principles of public health? Public health. Many people mistakenly assume public health services are just for some people, perhaps those without health insurance or those with special health issues. But in reality, public health is for all of us. Public health has the mission of protecting and improving the health and well-being of all people. Public health helps to prevent epidemics and the spread of disease, protects against environmental hazards, responds to disasters, and assists communities in recovery. It prevents injuries and promotes healthy behaviors. It also assures the quality and accessibility of health services. Public health has a mission to create conditions in which people can be healthy. The primary focus is on prevention of disease and injury rather than treatment. Public health refers to all organized measures to prevent disease, promote health, and prolong life among the population as a whole. Its activities aim to provide conditions in which people can be healthy and focus on entire populations, not on individual patients or diseases. Thus, public health is concerned with the total system and not only the eradication of a particular disease. Public health is the science and art of preventing disease, prolonging life, promoting health and efficiency through organized community efforts for sanitation of the environment, control of communicable infections, education of the individual in personal hygiene, organization of medical and nursing services for the early diagnosis and preventive treatment of disease, development of the social machinery to ensure everyone a standard of living adequate for the maintenance of health, so organizing these benefits as to enable every citizen to enjoy his birthright of health and longevity. So, what does our public health system do? Our public health efforts focus on broad health issues such as preventing and controlling disease, keeping our environment clean, healthy, and safe, and promoting good healthy practices. Public health professionals through organized interdisciplinary efforts addresses the physical, mental and mental health concerns of communities and populations, and public health specialists work to make our communities healthier. Public health officials assess the health requirements of communities, prioritize needs and create public policy. Basic role and responsibilities of public health system are statutory role, population-based role and surveillance role. Statutory role provides services that keep you from getting sick from actions or illnesses of others. Population-based role involves preventing illness in individuals by taking action at the community-wide level. And surveillance role continually monitors for patterns of disease. Main functions of public health are the assessment and monitoring of the health of communities and populations at risk to identify health problems and priorities. The first function is assessment. Local health departments work closely with various community groups and organizations to identify and evaluate health needs and health hazards in the greater community. Second is policy development. Again, in conjunction with community, public health professionals help prioritize health needs, plan how to address these needs, and are active advocates for the programs, policies, or laws which will assure the top health needs are met. The formulation of public policies is done to solve identified local and national health problems and priorities. Third core function is assurance. Our public health network continually evaluates health programs and policies to make sure priority health needs are being met in a way that supports local goals and objectives and assure that populations have access to appropriate and cost-effective care, including health promotion and disease prevention services. Essential services of public health are monitor health status to identify community health problems, diagnose and investigate health problems and health hazards in the community, inform, educate and empower people about health issues. Mobilize community partnerships to identify and solve health problems, develop policies and plans that support health efforts, and enforce laws and regulations that protect health and ensure safety. Next is link people to personal health services and assure the provision of health care. Evaluate the effectiveness, accessibility, and quality of services. And finally, assure a competent public health and healthcare workforce. Public health achievements in 20th century. Safe and healthier foods are now available at commonplace because of hand washing, sanitation, refrigeration, pasteurization, pest control, healthier animal care, feeding and processing, improved food supply safety. Now let's take a look at principles of public health. Injuries are not accidents, they do not happen by chance. Like disease, they follow a pattern. By identifying the risk for injury, it is possible to predict and prevent it. From a public health perspective, we attempt to analyze each risk factor in order to understand and predict patterns of disease and injury. The goal of illustrating principles of public health is to make you understand and apply basic public health principles and guidelines to identify risk factors and help develop and choose prevention strategies. Epidemiology is the study of diseases among populations. Epidemiology focuses on patterns in distributions of disease in order to tailor preventive measures. In simple terms, epidemiology is the science of disease detectives. Just like police detectives try to solve a crime, and epidemiologists try to solve a disease crime by gathering data to answer the questions who, what, why, where, when, and how. By collecting data, an epidemiologist can determine patterns of a disease such as what population is it affecting, what are the ages, what exposures do they have in common, etc. All of these questions are meant to profile or explain the disease in hopes of finding a cure or effective intervention to prevent the disease or injury from affecting the rest of the population. Epidemiology was founded for the purpose of disease prevention, but the same rules can apply to injuries too. Many public health and injury prevention practitioners use the same rules and guidelines developed in epidemiology to detect or find the patterns of injuries happening in their community. When referring to epidemiology and prevention, epidemiologists often refer to a model called epidemiology triangle to identify the major risk factors categories for the disease or injury. Identifying risk factors is the second step in public health approach to injury prevention. The traditional use of this model is to use it as a tool to identify the risk factors and show the relationship between three factors that influence the occurrence and prevention of disease and injury. These factors are host or the person or population with the disease, agent or the disease causing organism, and environment or place in which the host and agent interact. From a public health perspective, we attempt to analyze each factor's characteristics in order to understand and predict patterns of disease and injury. Prevention efforts are designed to change one or more of these characteristics, altering the relationship between the three and ultimately changing the frequency, how often or severity of the disease or injury. For example, we have learned that a person, host, can be vaccinated, which is done by identifying the host characteristic, to prevent illness from certain disease causing organism called agent, such as the viruses that cause measles, or that an environment with improved sanitary conditions such as protected water supplies and sanitary sewer systems reduce the risk of diseases. This traditional model can be understood by considering the following example. For example, we have learned that a person or host can be vaccinated to prevent illness from certain disease causing organism such as virus that causes measles, or that an environment with improved sanitary conditions such as protected water supplies and sanitary sewer systems reduce the risk of diseases such as cholera and giardia. Now let's take a look at another principle of public health: levels of prevention. Understanding the occurrence of injury isn't enough to fully address the design and implementation of preventive measures. We again draw from a basic public health concept that there are three levels of prevention: primary, secondary, and tertiary. The three levels of prevention refer to the timing of an injury. For injury event, there is a time period called pre-event, a time period when the event is actually happening, and a time period after the event, that is post-event. When you consider a prevention strategy for a particular injury occurrence, consider a strategy that is comprehensive, employing prevention initiatives at all three levels. First is primary level. The goal of this level is to prevent events that might result in injury. What can be done to avoid the injury before the event occurs? Next is secondary level, which is implemented during the event. The goal is directed at modifying the consequences of events in order to prevent or reduce the severity of injury. Example: safety belt use and smoke detectors. And lastly, tertiary level, which includes limiting long-term impairments and disability. Example: access to emergency medical services and quality health care. It is also important to note that preventive measures we employ are categorized as either passive or active strategies. Passive approach is interventions that provide automatic protection without action from an individual. Active approach involves interventions that require individual action for the intervention to be effective. Passive strategies are often preferred over active strategies because they are automatic and protect everyone and require no cooperation or action on part of those you intend to protect. Effective means producing or capable of producing a desired effect. In this case, the desired effect is to reduce injuries. It is important to know which injury prevention strategies are proven effective and those that are less effective in order to have the greatest impact on your program. Why are some effective and others are ineffective? For example, safety messages like "think safety" and "don't drink and drive" have been used for many years but have limited effect in changing behavior. Think safety is especially bad for the message is too general. Seatbelt use and smoke detectors are proven effective devices. Health fairs are of limited effectiveness and drivers education classes for teen drivers have actually been proven in the past to increase motor vehicle injuries among young drivers because those classes often allow teens to obtain a driving license at an earlier stage. This was a brief description about public health and public health principles. Thank you.